Alright guys, so we're back. Like I promised, I was going to do a video showing you how I set up the T150 for Bus Simulator. I know I was supposed to get this out yesterday, but things happen. So as you can see, it already acknowledges the wheel that I have. It says right on there, Thrustmaster T150. So as you can see, the accelerator, when I press the pedal on the left-hand side of the screen, you can see the pressure go up, and the same thing with the brake. So I have those set to that. Now, this is something that took me a second to figure out. Now, I have no idea what any of these do, so I pretty much just left them as they are. But what I found out is that if you want to adjust them, it's the left stick. The left stick adjusts, so I was under the assumption that you would press X and kind of do it, but nope, you just use the left stick. So, like I say, I have no idea what any of these really mean, so I haven't bothered with them. The only thing I did change is that I think the throttle dead zone and the brake dead zone, yeah, the brake dead zone is still on 2. So, I take that down to 0. I don't want anything on the dead zones. Everything else, I leave the same. Again, like steering wheel scale, I don't know what that is. Steering wheel exponent, I don't know what that is. The steering wheel range, now T150 has a 1080 degree range, but you know, I mean, I don't feel the need to have that high of a rotation, especially for this game. So 380 is fine. The cockpit zoom, I leave that on the controller, because you're going to need to use the controller anyway. You can't do everything on the wheel alone. Like, you can't, if he's out of the bus, you can't walk around with the wheel, obviously. Doing tickets and change and stuff like that, that's also something that you're going to do on the controller. So what I did do is this: the action cam, which the action cam is something that you can only get on a wheel. You can't get the action cam on the controller, and I'll show you that feature when we get out into the actual bus. But I have that set to the options button. I had that set to the circle, but the problem was that the circle button also controls the speed limiter, and there's no setting on here to change the button of the speed limiter. So I put the action cam to the options button, and I unbinded the options button for the pause menu on the wheel. I can still access the pause menu for the options button on the controller, though. That doesn't change that. I put the passenger mirror on the square button, so when they have loud music or whatever, if someone's blocking the door, I can just hit the square, quickly snap to it, and take care of all that nonsense. Toggle the cashier mode. Now, this is one that, again, you're still going to have to use the controller to give change and give them their tickets. But what I could do is, like, so when I'm at a stop, I like to switch to the action cam and see outside the bus. And when people come in and they're like, I need a ticket, I can just hit the R2 button and it snaps right to the cashier mode. So I like that. These three right here are probably the most important ones that you don't have on controller, and it would be so cool if you did. So look to the left on the left directional on the D-pad. You press that button, he looks left, you let it go, he comes back to center. Look right, same thing, and center the camera. This is another one that I wish that they had on controller. But yeah, I have the X button set to this, so no matter where the camera is, I just press that X and it'll snap right back to the center. So that's great. Toggle all doors, like that's the L3 button. I have on the wheel. I believe on the controller it's the square anyway. The ramp, I like having the ramp. The ramp's on the R3 button. Really easy. The horn is up. And what else we have here? Okay, the right left turn signals, I have those mapped to the actual shift paddles, because you're not shifted in this game anyway, so that's what I did there. The parking brake is still the down button on the directional, just like it is on the controller. I didn't change that. The retarder strength, you know, if I had more buttons I could do this, but I don't, so I just use that on the control pad anyway. This is the only other thing I did. The far lights I have mapped to L2, so I can flash my high beams, or I can put my high beams on. That's very useful. and I can also cycle through all my lights. So you can, from off, they'll go to parking lights, your headlights, and then off again. And then all of this stuff down here I don't have. Again, if there were more buttons on this, you know, you could do all this, but there's not. And this is all stuff that I don't mind doing on the controller. It's not a big deal because I have my controller right next to me anyway. Like as of right now, I have my headsets on, and the headset, I don't have a wireless headset, so it has to be controlled to the controller, so I always have the controller next to me anyway. Now, you all out there, you can feel free to do this any way you want. This is just my setup and my preferences. I just thought it would be cool to see, and the only other thing about it that I will show is when we go into the game settings, I put the vibration intensity down to 80. It seems to have it's a very good force feedback for this game regardless, because if you're driving a bus, it's not a race car. You don't need like a really intense experience. I just like to have it set where, you know, I can feel the road, you can feel the speed bumps. That's pretty cool. You know, when you turn it, you feel a little bit of resistance, and for me 80 is perfect. I do have that. Okay, where is it? Is it in game? Okay, enable curve view. Yeah, I like the curve view because when you turn, the camera automatically kind of looks in the direction that you're turning. That's a very cool feature. I like that being on. I had that on even without the wheel. I think it works on controller as well. So with all that being said, I've showed you how I got the wheel set up, everything. Let's actually get out in a bus and I can show you what everything does, especially the left and right look and the center camera. So now, that's new. Like, the door just opened automatically. I don't remember that ever happening before. And also, now you can interact with the door. I don't remember seeing that before either. Maybe it was always there and I just missed it. But, yeah, that's new to me. So, I don't know. Very cool, though. I like that. So, let's open the bus up. Okay, so now the ignition... I still have the ignition set to the controller as well. Alright, so we got the bus all started up here. Close the doors. Take a look down here and put on my retarder. We'll put it on 2, I think, for now. And also, let's ticketing, passenger, shut that off. I probably should have done this tonight. Okay, so here's a good example of the X button where you can snap to the center. So you see I have the camera there. Just press the X, goes right to the center. I actually love that feature. That's so handy to have. So we'll take the parking brake off. And we'll start to pull out. Okay, now I'm going to stop the bus here. And now this is the action cam. That's the view you get with the action cam. Now I have my controller in my hand. You cannot change the camera angle at all when you're in the action cam. That's what you get. When you're making like right hand turns, it's kind of cool that you can go out and see that, and you can see how far you have to swing around if you're not comfortable with doing it from in the bus. But that's the action cam. And then what I'm going to show you is that I hit my L3 button. All my doors open. And if I hit the R3 button, we got the ramp coming out. Put that back. Shut the doors. go back in the bus, and if there's someone playing loud music, all I gotta do is hit square, and there we go. I'm in there, and I just grab my controller, look around to see who the troublemaker is, tell them to knock it off. Alright, now, we just go back, and now, to looking left and right, see, I used the wrong one, I'm using the controller. If I press left on the D-pad on the steering wheel, see that? I can look left, snaps back to center. Look right, snaps back to center. So those are my settings, guys. And as, I don't know if you can see, I mean, it's not nighttime, but if you look over in the left-hand corner where the lights are, you can see the switch move when I hit the triangle. It's cycling through. My brights. Horn. Parking brake down as always. Shut those off. And take a quick look. Yeah, I don't really care about that. When you're on the road, you can just snap to that view. Not a bad view. Bring it back in. And that's it, guys. That's the settings for the steering wheel. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you found it informative. If you have the wheel, again, you know what? I really kind of want to stress this, like, the wheels, they're not a necessity at all. You know, they're really not. They are expensive. They're not cheap. The cheapest ones aren't even that cheap. But they just bring a whole new sense of immersion and fun into these games. But again, it's like, you know, if you can afford it, go for it. If not, the controller works fine. Like, you can play any one of these games just with the controller, and you're going to do absolutely fine with it. You know, but, yeah, the wheels are a lot of fun. I would highly recommend, you know, like I said, if you can afford it, save up for it or whatever, and get one of these with the force feedback. And I don't think anybody would be really disappointed in it. I haven't had it for long, so I can't say how well the quality is going to be of the wheel, but you know, I mean, look at that. See, I don't know. See, that's another thing about this game is that I don't know. There's no stop signs or anything. But anyway, yeah. Hope you enjoyed the video. We're going to end it here, guys, and we'll see you next time. Is this my turn? Yeah, it is.